Hey, innovators, it has been a while. Things have been so incredibly exhilarating, exciting, busy, and I've had to really kind of contain a little bit of my excitement. I got invited to speak on stage at Elevate Conference, which is a massive tech conference here in Toronto. And I got to be invited to moderate and lead a fireside chat with the infamous Ariel Garten, who is the founder of Muse headband, and you know how much I love it. Welcome to the CanInnovate podcast, where we help innovate your career by providing you bi-weekly mini bite-sized tactics to help you drive your professional development in a tune-up style. So prepare to get totally future-proofed. It was so kind of surreal to me because it just happened so quickly, and next thing you know, I'm in a green room getting ready to get on stage, fitting for a mic. It was so, I cannot describe it. It was such a fascinating, exciting, nerve-wracking experience. Like, my hair got sweaty, my face got sweaty. It was crazy. But Ariel and others were telling me that I was quite a natural at it, and maybe I am getting really better at a microphone. It was just really weird to be kind of seen on a stage as opposed to hiding behind, a computer screen. But anyways, it was such an incredible experience. But what was really even more amazing was that as I was doing with Ariel, which is so fitting, I'm listening to her talk about how she was a serial entrepreneur when she was 16 years old, and she was coming up with a product line, and she knew nothing about how to create a product line, but she just did it. I think about that at 16 years old, to have that such amazing can-do attitude that nothing is going to hold you back. And I was just so fascinated by, that mindset, and which makes sense because the Muse headband is about meditation and clearing your mind to have a positive mindset. And being that this is our 100th episode, which, by the way, I can't believe where the time has gone. I started this 2 years ago. It's still moving strong, and it's just mind-boggling to me. But I kept thinking about this episode I was going to record with you guys, and then this whole experience and the journey for the past 2 years. And I have to say, I am really glad that I started this podcast journey, because it has opened up a whole new world for me that I never thought would ever actually happen. So, that 5 seconds of courage of starting this and doing this and not knowing how to do it, and using some of my management consultant skills, and then, overcoming the imposter syndrome. I've just had a whirlwind experience. Like, I've met such incredible executives that are so innovative. Think about it. This is how I got on stage with, Ariel, because of our experience that we had and our banter and just being able to connect. That would never have happened if I didn't start this whole podcast. And then I think about, just speaking at different types of, smaller events and conferences, and then, having the Amazon bestseller book, the podcast, the online course for Future Proof Yourself. And the list goes on. And I think about my 2 years and I'm like, wow, I am really glad I started this journey. And it's just really exciting. So it opened up more doors for me by saying yes to a lot more stuff. However, it has made me stop to think about what I need to start saying no to. And, I've picked up a huge project that I've been working on, and I've had to kind of stop and think about how I'm kind of Marie Kondoing my life a little bit, because I had so many different obligations, and I really had to stop to think about, if I'm saying yes to these things, what do I have to say no to? I overcame being a workaholic, and it was like a 2-decade-old habit that I had. And I really wanted to think about, where am I putting my time and effort into? And I had to actually start paring some things down that kind of doesn't make sense anymore, or that the frequency might need to be revamped. So I actually resigned from a couple of boards of directors, and, it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it. It was just that if I have these extra hours in a month or a week, what could I be doing more of? And, I wanted to focus a little bit more on making sure I get to the gym and eating healthy and doing all the stuff and cooking and picking up other extracurricular activities. And so I had to make some kind of big changes, especially since I've taken on this new massive project that's taking a lot of my time. So with that, I was thinking about the podcast and how much I love it. But I also thought about all the emails that I get. And I've been getting a lot of emails about a lot of the professional development topics. So when I was talking about how to prioritize or give feedback and receive feedback and vulnerability and the mindset, Ariel's episode 45 about, the innovation mindset and untangling the knots in your head and killing that inner jerk, it still gets thousands of downloads a month because it's just one of those things where people are just like, it's such a tactical exercise and it's changing a lot of their ways of thinking. And in fact, I still get emails to this day about it. I got an email 2 days ago talking about it really made them think about, it doesn't matter where your economic, where you are in your benchmark, in terms of economics and finances and social class and so on. It's just everything is about your mindset. And they said that they listen to that episode every time they kind of need a bit of a tune-up just to remind them to stay strong and that they can do it. And all those self-doubts are just normal things because we have to go through ups and down journeys of our emotions. So it's just really, satisfying to hear those. So with me teaching at George Brown Consulting 101, the Future Proof class course, and then this other project where I'm coaching tons of other people to become more marketable, to increase their skill set and help them shift their mind thinking. I was thinking about all the emails that I've been receiving and, we've been inspired by all these innovators, but now it's time for us to focus on our own professional development. And I'm thinking like a tune-up. I'm not going to say you never had it, but it's more about having a tune-up and reminding us of certain things that we should be thinking about and having that kind of refresher of certain pieces, but then, it might be new stuff too. And I'm going to bring on a lot of the management consulting best practices. So the podcast is going to be shifting to really focusing on how we can innovate ourselves through different, let's call it professional development kind of tune-ups. And, so we could actually be able to leverage that. So I'm going to be changing the frequency to every 2 weeks. So it'll be bi-monthly. And more importantly, we'll still have interviews with people that are, really challenging the norm and really being shape-shifting the way we think and being those rainmakers out there. And, because we're still going to need to make sure that we're staying on top of the industry trends and making sure that we understand what's kind of going on. But we're also going to have topics that we're going to really tackle and small mini topics, whether it is from email management and how to prioritize to how to say no to something elegantly with that and not burning bridges. So we're going to hit a lot of those different topics. And I can't wait to start this with you guys because I think it's going to be exciting. So here's to 100 episodes. Here's to 100 more. I really can't wait to hear your feedback on things. And I'm pretty excited. Like the amount of feedback I get, of even, nominations for repeat guests, because, people loved how down to earth Daniel Shapiro was. And when he's talking about artificial intelligence and, his candidness and how he was so relatable and fun. And it's just so cool that everyone is finding something that's a little interesting, that's helping them a little bit to be a little bit more wiser. There is that saying, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with. So I'm actually very grateful that you guys pick me sometimes to actually tune into. So anyways, I can't wait to hear your thoughts about the new content that's coming because it's going to be awesome. And we're really going to have fun. I mean, I just released last week the LinkedIn episode about how to optimize your LinkedIn, which is getting some real great feedback because people are like, I need to think about those things. So I'm going to help us with all that, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Anyways, I can't wait to hear. And of course, feel free to share the episode with your friends and, nominate and give me topics and ideas of things that you are on the top of your mind that you would like to learn more about or haven't had time and you want something that's easy and digestible. And these new episodes are going to come out. They're going to be smaller nuggets, like 15 minutes, 18 minutes, because ultimately, time is the most precious commodity. And I want to get you what you need so that you can be successful for your, your week or the day or whatever it is that you're struggling with. So definitely do that. Reviews are always amazing because it is a source of our oxygen as podcasters, but I really love hearing from people. And there's tons of freebies that we've got going on. So there's, how to do a self-reflection. That's a huge different thing that we need to think about. If you're trying to unleash some of your new curiosity things, we've got that as well. So keep the feedback coming, and I can't wait for you to hear our next little chapter of excitement, and I really look forward to it. Thanks. Thank you so much for joining and listening to the podcast. If you enjoyed this episode or any other episode, please share with your friends and colleagues. You can share on social media, the email link, the newsletter, and so on. Let's continue to support these Canadian innovators and help them really grow into bigger brands. Awareness and knowledge is totally key. Anyways, I can't wait to talk to you next week. Cheers.